Welcome back to Pace Rewind. We're sitting down with men's lacrosse coach Tom Mariano. Tom, first of all, thank you for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Well, you guys have wrapped up fall practices. You're into the winter months. How do you feel the fall practice went?
To be honest, I thought it was great. You come in, new system. We don't know each other. It's a process of really getting to know each other. I think from day one, the guys did a really good job of kind of buying into what we're trying to teach and how we want to approach things, what we're trying to do. And that's always the hesitation, kind of starting new. I think the guys showed me they have work ethic, they have desire, they want to be good, they're willing to work to be good. For me, that's the big things coming out of a fall. Are you willing to work? Because we've got a long time before our first game. Even though it's going to be here pretty quick, the fall we want to come out with a work ethic, a drive, a system in place, kind of the expectations set on how we're going to do things.
What do those fall practices do to get you ready for the spring? Is it mainly just the guys getting to know each other, especially this year with them getting to know you?
Well, I think that's a big part of it, getting acclimated. Obviously next fall it'll be the freshmen getting acclimated to the system, but this fall everybody's new, so we're getting used to each other, getting comfortable with each other. We play a lot of early stuff, so it's really cold. You don't necessarily have a ton of time because it's freezing to work on the really small things, the really finite things that really matter. We spend a lot of time in that this fall, spend a lot of the time doing the little things right, how we're going to pass, how we're going to communicate. It's 75 degrees out. You could slow practice down and talk about, hey, this is exactly where we're going to go, what we want to accomplish, where when it's 25 degrees out, you don't want to slow it down as much.
With those games coming up in early March, what do you do over the course of the next couple of months, the December, January, February, in order to make sure that when game one hits, you guys are ready to hit the ground running?
Well, I think, it's kind of once we finish fall ball, we want to set an expectation of how we play, but now it's like set expectation in the weight room, conditioning, how we want them to work, what kind of shape we expect them to come back in, what tests they have to pass to be able to practice in the spring. And then in preseason, and then you really start to get into the nitty-gritty, the nuts and bolts of offense, defense, man down, rides clear, special teams, face-offs, the little things on how you're really going to do things, and more terminology, more, we put it no set plays in the fall. We'll start implementing set plays in the spring. That's where the preseason comes into play.
You being new to the program, what sort of a style are you bringing to Pace?
I think we want to be aggressive, I think in everything we do, and, how we approach community service, how we approach academics, how we approach recruiting, how we play, how we lift. We want to be aggressive, kind of, make a commitment to excellence, really get after things, leave it on the field, leave it in the classroom, leave it in the weight room. I think that's a style that we're looking for, and we've stated that from day one, and the guys have done a great job of buying into that and having fun with it at the same time.
Based on what you've seen out of the fall, is it too early to put expectations on this year?
Well, I think for me, you want to get that first game, that first scrimmage, which, we did in the fall, but then a spring scrimmage is different, a spring game, it's fortunate and unfortunate we open up with the defending national championship team, so we're going to find out really quick who we are, what we're made of. So I think we set an expectation. I think for me, I approach every season, you don't want to set an expectation based on wins and losses. I think it's more about performance and effort, and did you strive to reach goals? Did you reach those goals? Because I think if you do that, then the wins will come. If you're not doing that, obviously losses will be there. And, you could have a great year and play great and still lose games. So I think, in the first year, until we play a live game, I don't want to put false expectations or, we're going to, same goal every day, every game, every day, go out and try to be the best we can, really compete and be there for 4 quarters and make the right plays at the end of the game to win the game.
For somebody who maybe has not seen a lot of lacrosse, who might be watching right now, what are some of the exciting elements to the game and the way that you are going to have the setters play the game that they could look forward to that would make them want to say, I want to come out and see this?
I think the tempo of the game, how fast it is. You can turn your head away for 2 seconds and you miss a goal. You turn your head away and you see a big play. Somebody scores a goal, they win the face-off and they score a goal, then they score another face-off and score another goal, and you're talking to somebody in the crowd and you miss that. So I think that's an exciting part. I think it's something, someone who doesn't know the game, of getting them to really understand how really fast-paced it is. A lot of sports talk about how fast-paced they are. with our rule changes and some of the things that have taken place and how we want to play our style. I think, we're going to play fast. We want to really accelerate the tempo. I don't want to say Oregon pace in football, but something similar where it's like you don't want to turn your eyes because you're going to miss something entertaining.
Well, Tom, thank you very much for joining us, and best of luck going forward and into the spring season.
Thank you for having me.
When we come back, we'll sit down with softball coach and senior women's administrator Claudia Stabile. Keep it right here. You're watching Pace Rewind.